what does he say about the future? Because I sat here a couple of months ago and I was like, football is being ruined. Football is being ruined by what they're doing, right? And it's sapping all the life out of the game, and it's really draining the life out of a lot of football supporters. But he's done the backflip. A lot of other people are discontent with. A lot of other players are discontent with the way that they're being treated, the climate, the league, the professionalism, the human rights. Funnily enough, you probably should have thought about that before they left, hey, or before they went there, hey. I I'm not surprised, and I feel like this is not a landmark moment because it's one player leaving one club, right? I feel like this could be a pretty big monumental shift in the way that players approach moving to Saudi Arabia. Because Jordan Henderson is a completely fine footballer. Like, he'll go to Ajax and be fine, right? Will he be one of the best midfielders in the world? Probably not. Will he be one of the best English midfielders? Probably not. But he will go to Ajax, a top 7 league in England and in Europe, sorry, and will be fine, right? He'll be completely fine. So it's not like he's in the prime of his career. It's not like he's very young, but it's not like he's 37 and on his last legs. But I think after this, players are now going to start looking at Saudi Arabia as the end. Once you go there, it's for 3 years. You make your money and you're done. That's it. Players like N'Golo Kante, who definitely still had levels to go, right, in terms of playing at elite level football in Europe. Jordan Henderson was still more than serviceable at Liverpool, right? Koulibaly, Jota from Celtic. These players who are still objectively good players that can play at a very good level in Europe or even in the Americas or wherever, they went to Saudi Arabia because they thought this is the new league. This is the new thing. This is going to be the new elite standard of football. Now, it's not. They've come to the realization that it's not, and I feel like now we're going to see the end or the shift in players who will go to Saudi Arabia. We're not going to see players like Benzema, who's at the prime of his career, go to Saudi Arabia anymore. It will be the 37, 38, 39-year-olds with 2 years left max to collect the paycheck, to do some ambassadorial roles, and that's it. I feel like Henderson's going to leave. We're going to see a couple more leave in January, in however long's left of January, and in the summer, and we're going to see the shift. And in my opinion, it's the best thing that could have happened because the way that they were doing it, yes, you could say that England would be doing it as well, but I think it's a completely different circumstance. The way that they've been doing it is really bad for football, and I'm happy that this has been the first step to almost reconciliation, to kind of fix the issue. It's a first step in fixing the issue, in my opinion. So yeah, that's good. Good for Hendo. Good for Hendo. I didn't know what else he'd expect from going there because, like, what else would you expect from going there? Realistically, like, you know what you're signing up for, bro. Like, you know what you're signing up for. I don't get it. Like, did he think it was all going to be sunshine and rainbows and it was going to be a great league with good quality players and people all of a sudden going to flock to see Kalidou Koulibaly play football? Like, no, mate. Like, you need to look at it from a purely objective perspective. Take away the fucking rose-tinted glasses. Take away the fucking dollar signs and look at what you are actually stepping into. People were blinded by the money, and I get it because at the end of the day, if Jordan Henderson turned around, and I think I said this right when everything initially kicked off, when Jordan Henderson went, or when Neymar went, or whoever, if they had turned around and said, you know what, this is my profession, football is my job, football is the way that I put food on the table. I need to secure my family's future and future generations of my family for them to be financially secure. This move will ensure that. So I can't pass up on this opportunity. I think people would have turned around and be like, you know what, fair enough. At the end of the day, football is a job. Football is there to put food on food on tables, to put like roofs over people's heads. I don't blame you. But it was this whole circus act of, I'm going to fix the culture and we need to like change in the Middle East and all this shit. No, mate. Like they're set in this. They're set in their ways. They're set in their ways. Don't try and Jordan Henderson. You're not going to fix anything, mate. Like you need to look at it from an objective perspective, which I don't think they did. And I don't think a lot of them did. And I think it's now like the first proper change in that, which I think is good because it needed to happen. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. Regarding that. I don't know. Just is one of those things. Okay, let's move on again. I don't know what else more to say. It's like I don't see a world in which this could have ended any other way. Like did people and did more or less did Saudi Arabia genuinely think that they would become a footballing powerhouse as a league? I don't think people understand the nuances of football. Like people with so much money who aren't football fans don't understand the nuances of football. It takes generations. We've seen it in the A-League. You can't fucking turn a league. You can't make a league and have it be perfect. Maybe America is the exception because that country, maybe that's the exception, right? Because they've got a rich sporting history with the other codes. They've got as much money as they could possibly want, and they've got a population the size of a lot of people, right? So maybe they're the exception. But Saudi Arabia don't have a rich sporting culture in any sport, right? They have a pretty good footballing history. Like they've produced some good players. Like they've constantly, especially in my lifetime since 2004, they've always been a threat in Asia at World Cups. I really don't like Australia versus Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia are a good footballing team. Like we saw what they did at the World Cup, right? But as a league, they don't have a rich sporting culture. Do they have the population? I don't know what the population of Saudi Arabia is. This is testing my geography knowledge. Saudi Arabia population. 34 million. 35 million. So it's not as... What is it? 34 million, that's 10% bigger than Australia, or whatever it is, 12% bigger than Australia. In terms of population, the country itself is really small, which I guess helps when it comes to developing a football league, right? Which is one of the reasons why Australia struggles, but that's by the by. But they don't have the hundreds of millions of people that the US have. It's like people think money is the fix of everything, and in most cases it is, but football's a different story. Football doesn't care about money when it comes to building a tradition and building something from the ground up. Without the fans, football's nothing. And when 600 people rock up to your games, regardless of what the quality on the pitch you've got, regardless of how much money you've splashed out on the pitch or on the players and on training grounds and on teams and on squads and on clubs, it doesn't matter. So, I don't know. If we see a mass exodus, which I do think we will see, I think it will speak volumes.